Hello everyone. Today I will conduct an experiment checking the capabilities, evaluating the capabilities of edit image in Nano Banana and ChatGPT. I picked an image of lamps, 3D lamps which I made. This is more fun. And now I will ask to isolate the red lamp. Let's see how Nano Banana does it. Okay, so Nano Banana didn't erase the background, it just erased the lamps. Now add a roomy, blurry background. Let's see. The reason I'm doing it in two different instructions is because it gives a different result. You can also see that it didn't really preserve the exact details. Okay, so we have something here that it couldn't understand, but the proportions are good and it couldn't get the instruction well. Let's see what happens if I give it two instructions together. Okay, so it will be isolate the red lamp and add a roomy background. What's nice about it that it also gives me the time that it took to edit the image. Okay, funnily enough, it gave me the exact result, maybe because it already had the memory of my last request. Let's see what's going on with GPT. Continuing to GPT5, I'm going to run the same instructions and see what happens. First instruction was to isolate the red lamp. GPT doesn't show the amount of time it took, but I think it's a little bit slower. We can measure it up in the next experiment. Yes, it is much slower for sure. And still no result. Very, very slow. But maybe it will give us a better solution. We're almost heading to 2 minutes. If you remember, it was few seconds in Nano Banana. Okay, so this is very interesting. It isolated the lamp, okay, changed the angle, didn't understand what's going on here, so it completed it in a certain way, and it gave it a shadow, which means it's landing. If we go back to this, so it did it, but it left the previous context. Okay, great. Now isolate the red lamp. Okay, so it did it pretty well. Now let's put the whole request and see what's going on. Of course, these experiments are with a disclaimer that once you put an image into the engine, it probably remembers it. So if you try to do more things to edit the image, it will probably be different than an engine that never met this image to start with. Okay, so I'm measuring the time. Super slow, but maybe a better result. You can see, once it's working, that it added no cable. And here, it did add a cable because it saw this cable and somehow, let's say it was a human, it kind of thought it's a lamp, so it needs a cable. You have a cable. I wouldn't presume to understand, but this is an interesting difference. Let's go back, see what's going on. It's still working. We are past 1 minute. Okay, it starts. Remember the instruction? Isolate the red lamp and add a roomy blurry background. Okay, this is really interesting. So it added a contextual background. See, I only said roomy, blurry background. So it understood the instruction completely and also fixed this detail here.